Good day. In this video, we will be exploring the Placement Manager feature of the ISIMS Student Management System. So the first thing we need to do is to log into the Student Management System using our username and our password. So next, we will navigate to Training on the left hand side of your screen. Then we will scroll down to Placement Manager. Placement Manager is used to make placement requests to place students in institutions to complete their practicum exercise and also to select supervisors, etc. So the first thing we need to look at is placement request. A placement request must be made before the student can be placed into an institution. So basically what we'll be doing, we'll be looking at the amount of students that will be going to a particular institution and we'll be setting those up. The other thing that we need to do is to select the practicum course by going to the courses tab if that has not yet been selected. In the event that the practicum was not yet selected, we would select it from the list and then we just select save. Alright, and that would be it. The other thing that we're looking at is placement. So once a placement request has been made and the course has been selected, we will then go ahead and place the student in the high school in which they will be completing their practicum exercise. Alright, now once all of those have been made, we can look at the reports. We can look at the request report and the placement report to see how many requests were made and how many students were placed, and we may also look at the supervisor's report to see how many students are attached to a supervisor. So we'll go through those in detail. So let's go. The first thing we need to do is select the placement request tab, and I'm just going to do one as an example. I am going to do Ascot High due to the fact that I've found 2 students who went to Ascot for their practicum 3. So once we have selected the placement request tab, we go down to the institution and we select the institution. The institution here is Ascot High School and the semester is semester 2. We may choose to make a comment if we want to, however that's not really necessary. We will then select the program to which the student belongs. So the program is the BSc in Physical Education, and then now we will select the number of students that will be attending their practicum exercise at Ascot, and for this we have 2. We will then select add to request. I'm going to select add to request. Wait for it to process. And once the processing has been completed, you will get a prompt that says item added, and please ensure that you select the save button. Here you get a prompt to remind you to select the save button once you have added the request. So I'll select save right here. And basically that is how you go about doing placement requests to set up students in institutions. For each institution that the practicum exercise will be completed, a placement request need to be made. So for all the high schools that our students will be attending to do their practicum exercise, we need to set up the placement request. So let's say for example 3 persons will be attending Spanish Town High School to complete their practicum exercise. We'll then need to go to Spanish Town High School. Where is that? SSS, Spanish Town Primary School. And then we'll select the program, which is BSc in Physical Education, and then we will select the number of students and select add to request. Alright, once we select add to request, it will process again. It will say item added, and we may update. Alright, so that is how you create a request. The next thing we need to do is to select the courses, and we had done that already, so we don't need to do that anymore. Now next we need to place the student in the institution for which the request was made. So we need to go to the placement tab. We'll select semester 2, then we'll select the program offering. In the placement request we had selected the program, right? Now we select the program offering, year 1, year 2, year 3, etc. So the program offering here would have been, that's practicum 3, would have been BSc in Physical Education full-time, year 3. Next we select the course or the practicum course that the student will be completing, which is 2. Should have been practicum 2, and it should have been BSc in Physical Education full-time, year 2. That's a program offering, and the course that the student will be completing the practicum for is practicum 2, and the student's name is Janelle Brown. So here is Janelle Brown. Janelle Brown has not registered for practicum 2. However, I will register or place Janelle Brown just the same. So to place Janelle Brown in an institution, you will move to the right hand side of the screen and you will select place. Once you select place, processing will take place, and you may then select the supervisors attached and the institution. So you'll scroll down to institution, select the institution. I think practicum 2 was completed at GC Foster College. The first major supervisor for Janelle Brown is Mr. Dinsford Bailey. So you may have up to 2 supervisors, major and minor supervisor. So I will select Mr. D. Bailey for the first supervisor, and you do not necessarily have to select a second supervisor if there is none. And right below Mr. D. Bailey, you will select not applicable and save. Placement added, select OK, and we may close. So that is how you place a student to ensure that the practicum grade can be uploaded for the student. Now let us look at how we view the reports for requests to ensure that all the requests that we placed were indeed placed. All the students that we placed in institutions were indeed placed in institutions, and all the supervisors have been attached. For those, we look to the right of the screen. Here we have request report, placement report, and supervisors. So let's look at the request report, and we go to Ascot High School. We see that 2 students were requested, and GC Foster College of Physical Education, where is that now? GC Foster College, 54 students were requested, and we have a full request right here. Ascot High, 2 requested, 0 placed. And we had created an additional request for Spanish Town Primary, 4 requested, 4 placed. Looking for GC Foster, 54 requested, 35 placed. Alright, so that's how we look at we explore the request reports. The next thing we need to look at is the placement report. We look at the students that were placed. So this is a placement by institution: Bridgeport High School, Practicum 3, 1 placed; Charlemont High School, 1 placed, etc., etc. Alright, we can download the grade sheet from here also once the grades have been inputted. And here you notice there's a grade sheet for Practicum 2 and a grade sheet for Practicum 3. Alright, next, if we move further down to the placement report, we can see more information about the student, the institution, the course, the supervisor 1 and supervisor 2. So I need to look for Miss Brown, Janelle Brown, and here she is, placed at GC Foster College of Physical Education and Sport, BSc in Physical Education, Practicum 2, and the supervisor is Mr. Dinsford Bailey. Alright, so that's how we look at the placement report. Next, we need to look at the supervisors to get a better insight of what is actually happening there. How many students are attached to each supervisor. So for that, we look at the supervisors tab. We scroll down and we notice that the top person here is Miss Joan Anderson. The list is organized in alphabetical order. She has 4 students supervising. Mr. Angus has 6, Mr. Cleve Bailey has 9, Mr. Dinsford Bailey has 5, and this is for semester 2. If we wish to see the reports for supervisors for semester 1, we simply change the semester. The system will do some processing and show the new figures. Alright, so that is how you place students. That is how you make placement requests, and that is how you view the reports to look at your requests once they have been completed. The next video we will look at is how to add grades for practicum. Thank you.